Welcome to World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, fact-based reporting on global conflicts and frontline developments, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Today, we bring you an update from the Ukraine-Russia frontline, where shifts in territory, strategy, and human experience continue to shape one of the most consequential conflicts of our time. On the battlefield in eastern and southern Ukraine, both Ukrainian and Russian forces have been engaged in intense operations through autumn and into winter. Recent developments suggest a complex picture of incremental gains, defensive fortification, and continued attrition. Ukrainian defenders have worked to strengthen positions along key defensive lines, reinforcing trenches, minefields, and fortifications designed to blunt Russian advances. In some sectors, Ukrainian units have also conducted limited counterattacks, aiming to retake strategic terrain or disrupt supply routes. These efforts reflect a broader approach that combines tactical defense with selective offensive pressure aimed at maintaining momentum and preventing stagnation. For Russian forces, operations have involved attempts to exert pressure on multiple axes simultaneously. This has included probing Ukrainian lines, seeking to exploit weak points and shift the operational tempo in Russia's favor. In some areas, Russian units have made measured gains, capturing small settlements or ground that provides tactical advantage for artillery placement or supply access. Yet these advances have often been met with strong resistance, including well-coordinated fire from Ukrainian artillery and armored units. Winter conditions present another layer of challenge. Cold temperatures, snow-covered terrain, and reduced daylight hours affect movement, logistics, and equipment performance. Both sides must adapt to these conditions, which can slow offensives, complicate supply flows, and increase the risk of non-combat casualties due to exposure and accidents. Analysts note that the war's current phase resembles a form of grinding positional conflict, where progress is measured in meters rather than kilometers, and in casualties suffered versus territory gained or held. This phase favors well-prepared defensive positions, effective intelligence, and resilient logistics. Official briefings from Kyiv emphasize that Ukrainian forces are holding critical lines and inflicting disproportionate losses on attacking units. Meanwhile, Russian statements continue to frame gains as evidence of persistence and strategic patience, even as broader international pressure and sanctions remain in place. Beyond the military calculations, the human toll of frontline fighting remains stark. For soldiers on both sides, daily life at the front involves constant threat from artillery, sniper fire, mines, and unexploded ordnance. Units often rotate positions to manage fatigue and maintain combat effectiveness, but the stress of prolonged exposure to combat remains high. Medical evacuation, supply delivery, and communication lines all operate under hazardous conditions. Civilians in frontline towns and villages continue to bear the brunt of disruption. Many residents have been displaced multiple times, losing homes, jobs, and a sense of stability. Winter exacerbates these hardships, particularly where heating infrastructure has been damaged and access to food, medicine, and shelter becomes more precarious. Humanitarian organizations work to deliver aid where possible, but access is often limited by security concerns and damaged roads. Strategically, the current state of the battlefield has implications for broader diplomatic and political calculations. Neither side has achieved a decisive breakthrough in recent months, and this stalemate in many areas shapes international responses. For Ukraine's allies, continued material support, including artillery, drones, air defense systems, and training, is viewed as crucial to sustaining Kyiv's defense and eventual counteroffensive capability. For Russia, the war remains a costly endeavor. While Moscow maintains significant resources and manpower, prolonged conflict stretches supply chains, affects morale, and continues to attract global condemnation. Western sanctions, technological restrictions, and diplomatic isolation contribute to pressures beyond the battlefield. Observers also emphasize that changes on the front line influence how peace proposals are discussed. Territorial control, the security of major cities, and the stability of defensive lines factor into any potential negotiation scenario. Shifts in battlefield dynamics thus feed directly into diplomatic positions, making military progress or stalemate an integral part of political leverage. In this context, the war continues to evolve not just as a clash of armies, but as a sustained test of resilience for soldiers, civilians, and policymakers alike. Thank you for watching this Frontline analysis on world news by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you found this update clear and informative, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Independent reporting helps us understand how conflicts shape lives and global politics. Stay informed and see you in the next update.